Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we are diving into something truly amazing, the deep connection between art and our brains. We're going to explore how our biology, our psychology, even our behavior can be totally transformed by something as simple as picking up a paintbrush or just listening to a song.
So let's just jump right in with a pretty wild question, one that sounds, almost too good to be true. Could your next trip to a museum or maybe a concert actually help you live a longer life?
The answer? Well, it's a huge yes. The research is just stunning. It turns out that people who engage with the arts just every few months have a 31% lower risk of dying early. 31%! So how on earth is that even possible? Well, let's get into it.
Okay, first thing we have to understand is that this isn't just about feeling good. Art creates real, physical, structural changes in your brain. Seriously, it's a biological process, and it all starts with this one core idea.
That idea is neuroplasticity. It's this incredible ability the brain has to literally rewire itself by forming new connections. It happens our whole lives. It's how we learn, how we adapt. And as it turns out, art is one of the absolute best ways to kick that whole process into high gear. To really get this, let's go back to a classic experiment from the 1960s by a neuroscientist named Marianne Diamond. She put rats into two totally different environments. One was what she called an impoverished cage. Bare, boring, nothing to do. The other was an enriched environment, basically a rat playground, filled with toys and new things to explore and other rats to hang out with.
And the results were, well, they were mind-blowing. After just 2 weeks, the rats in that fun, enriched environment didn't just learn better, they literally grew bigger brains. Their cerebral cortex, the thinking part of the brain, grew by 6%. And the rats in the boring cage, their brains actually shrank.
So this brings us right back to us, to humans. Our senses, what we see, hear, touch, they're the gateway. They're how we let the world into our minds. And art, in all its forms, is this incredibly powerful, sensory-rich experience. It just floods our brains with new, engaging stuff, forcing those new neural pathways to form, and basically strengthening our brain's hardware.
All right, so if art can physically change our brains, it kind of follows that we can also use it to heal them. And that brings us to our second big idea, the art of healing. I love this quote from neuroanatomist Jill Bolt Taylor because it's so crucial. Art works so well because it speaks to our emotional, sensory side first. It can kind of sneak past our logical brain and change our biology directly. We feel it before we even think about it.
And these biological changes, they're absolutely real and you can measure them. Getting involved with art, even for just 15 or 20 minutes, can actually lower your stress hormones like cortisol, it can boost your immune system, and it can promote a state of relaxation that makes your whole body more resilient.
And this is where it gets truly amazing. We're now seeing specific art forms being used to treat really serious diseases. For instance, dance is helping Parkinson's patients regain motor control. Music can help dementia patients bring back long-lost memories. And check this out. Researchers at MIT found that exposing Alzheimer's patients to light and sound at a specific frequency, 40 Hz, can actually help the brain clear out the harmful plaque that's linked to the disease. It's incredible.
And the applications here are just so broad. Through programs like Creative Forces, the military is using visual arts, music, and writing to help service members process trauma. When words fail, which they often do with something like PTSD, art gives people another way, a really powerful way to express themselves and to heal. But art isn't just about healing what's wrong. It's also one of the most powerful tools we have to move from just, surviving to truly thriving. A state of well-being that psychologists like to call flourishing.
Art is this super reliable path to experiencing awe. You know that feeling? When we see something new and vast, like a breathtaking painting, or we hear a powerful piece of music, our internal monologue, that constant chatter in our heads, it just quiets down. We kind of suspend our sense of self and feel connected to something much bigger. And we can actually see this happening inside the brain. In an fMRI study, Dr. Charles Lim watched the brains of jazz musicians. Now, when they played a rehearsed piece, the self-monitoring part of their brain, their inner critic, was lit up and very active. But the second they started to improvise, that whole region just went dark. Their inner critic completely shut up, allowing them to get into that state of pure creative flow. So the crucial point here is that art helps us practice and build these core qualities of a flourishing life.
It's like it trains our muscles for curiosity, for wonder, and for that playful, non-judgmental exploration. And here's the thing. These aren't fixed personality traits. They are skills that literally anyone can develop through art.
Which, of course, all leads to the most important part. How can you actually bring these incredible benefits into your own life? Well, the good news is, it's way simpler than you might think.
First, let's just bust a huge myth right now. You do not have to be good at art to get the benefits, not at all. The science is crystal clear. The reward comes from the act of doing, not the quality of what you make. Just 15 minutes of pretty much any creative activity can significantly lower your stress hormones.
So think about how easy this is. You could doodle during a boring meeting, hum a song while you do the dishes. You could dance in your kitchen for a few minutes, or just take a walk and really pay attention to the colors and textures in nature. These aren't just pleasant little distractions. They are potent, science-backed tools for changing your brain and your biology for the better.
And this brings us to a really powerful final idea. Art isn't a luxury. It isn't some add-on for a few talented people. It is our birthright. It's a fundamental part of our human biology. You know, for thousands of years, so many cultures have known this instinctively. Art wasn't some separate thing you did. It was just woven into the fabric of life.
And science is finally catching up and proving what we've always kind of known in our bones. We are literally wired for art. So the only real question left is, what art will you bring into your life today?